Oh, what is going on, family? What is going on? You are tuned in to On the Mark with your boy Marcus Washington, where we talk everything Falcons football, man. So, Atlanta gets the job done against the Carolina Panthers 24-10. First time we've been above 500 since 2017, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, man, we got the job done. It looked a bit messy there in the first half. And then we kind of pulled away in the fourth quarter. We scored 14 points and left them with a goose egg. Yeah, man. I'm gonna enjoy the win. Jesse Bates, man, Jesus Christ. As advertised, man, that guy is the goods, bruh. The absolute goods. All three turnovers were on him. 2 picks and a fumble. Hopefully he's good. He left the game in the fourth quarter, didn't play that last series. But he seemed to be on the sideline, moving well. So hopefully it's nothing critical. Bijan, man. Bijan is going to be a stud. Problem is, so is Tyler Algier. Algier was running like he was the number one back. And listen, man, this is probably going to end up being the best rushing tandem in the NFL. Carolina had no answer, none for either one of them. And I'm like, yeah, no team is going to be able to stop these guys. Mind you, Cordell Patterson didn't even suit up today. Jonnu Smith, kind of a no-show. Drake London, and hold on, let me see if Drake London even got a. Let me see. Hold on, let me go look at these stats, bro. Drake London had no yards, no receptions, 0. So did Jonnu Smith. And we still won by 14 points with Cordell Patterson not suiting up. Mac Hollins had a couple of good plays. He had 3 receptions for 31 yards. Kyle Pitts had 2 for 45. The big play for like 35 yards. Which it was a dangerous throw. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but you give studs like that a chance, man, and they come up every time. But yeah, where we were efficient was the running game, man. Algier went for 74. Bijan went for 56. But this defense, man, looked like they were giving up a lot of stuff in the first half. But I mean, Carolina only scored 10 points. They only scored 10 points. You can't ask anything else from your defense. They gave you 3 turnovers. I think they ended up getting like 3 sacks. They started getting pressure in the third quarter. So you can't ask anything else from your defense. This was a good win. Now I'm going to talk about some things. It's too early to press the panic button on this. But Desmond Ridder looked like he should have been playing all 3 preseason games. Desmond Ridder went 15 of 18 for 116 yards. People will forget they actually credited him for a touchdown for the screen pass. But that was all Bijan Robinson right there. That was all Bijan, right? And people will say, well, 15 for 18 ain't bad for 116 yards. And then you look at all the damn weapons we have. He looked shaky in the first half. And again, if our run game wasn't so crazy good, we might be in trouble. I don't know if this is a situation with Arthur Smith not being ready to take the training wheels off this boy, but it's almost, here's my issue with this. You got all these weapons. Take the training wheels off of them, bro. Either that or put the guy that you're paying $10 million a year behind him in. And I'm not really going to put a lot of this on Desmond because I think a lot of this is Arthur Smith. A 3rd and 5, we run the football. A 3rd and 6, we run the football. And then Arthur Smith is over there looking like somebody else made the play call. I'm like, bro, you're calling these plays. But you're running the ball on a 3rd and 6 lets me know you still got the training wheels on Desmond Ridder. This lets me know that. And he shouldn't have had the training wheels on at all this game. He had a whole off season. He had a whole camp. He had a whole preseason. Y'all decided that y'all were only going to play him for one series. So again, hopefully moving forward, Arthur Smith will be like, okay, I'm going to let you throw a little more. We have too many weapons as receivers. Too many. Kyle Pitts for 45 yards. Fam, y'all remember where we drafted him now? Y'all remember where we drafted this boy? On any other team, Kyle Pitts would be an absolute ball-out stud. But with us, he's putting up 45 yards. One came on a chunk play in the 4th quarter. So there has to be some type of balance. The run game is already there. That's there. But there has to be some balance in the pass game. I got us pegged winning more than 10 games this year. Easy. I have us up there 12, maybe 13 games. There's too much talent on this team. And again, I'm just going to chalk this up as a preseason game with all the starters playing. Right? Hopefully, when we play Green Bay, they decide to take the training wheels off of Desmond Ridder. He can start throwing the ball a little bit more. If not, you can always lean on your running game. You got 2 absolute dogs back there. So if all else fails, okay, turn around, give it to TA, or give it to Bijan. They gonna make it do what it do. But we can't have Drake London out here with literally no yards, no receptions. Kyle Pitts, 2 receptions. Jonnu Smith, a no-show, an absolute no-show. Matter of fact, Hollins, 31 yards. Bruh, Bijan has 27 yards receiving. So that has to get straightened out ASAP. ASAP. If you want to compete in the NFC, that has to happen. That has to happen, bro. Kevin says, calm down. It's only the first game. That's what a lot of teams or a lot of people say. This was a win. I'm going to take it. I had us beating Carolina. There was no way in hell we should have lost to Carolina at all. I had us beaten them. But I'm looking at some major issues already, being that we had an offseason and we had a camp for this. So I'm gonna chalk it up as this is a preseason game with all the starters. Next week they have to start opening stuff up. The defense, again, man, defense played. They balled out. Man, I'm seeing Richie Grant trying to lay out Thielen when we clearly have the win. I'm like, okay, all right. Boy's got a little dog to him. But on top of that, again, first game of the season, I'm not hitting the panic button. I'm not hitting the panic button. So if y'all think that I'm hitting the panic button, I'm not. Chris Lindstrom was a little shaky this game. So I'm pointing all this stuff out to say this. The bad things that I saw, we still won by 14. We shut Hubbard down in the second. We shut everything down in the second half, to be absolutely honest. And hold on, let me go back to these stats right here. Young boy threw the ball 38 times, 146 yards, 2 picks, 1 touchdown. This man's last 2 televised games, he didn't have his ass handed to. Well, no, he didn't have his ass handed to us last year. But Georgia is not his friend right now. It's not his friend. But I think he'll be a little better. But we shut down everything in the second half, and then started applying that pressure and getting to him a lot more. So first half looked ugly for both teams. If you're a Panthers fan or a Falcons fan, it looked ugly. But Atlanta pulls off the win, man. Hey, I'm proud. I will take this start. So in my prediction, we have 11 wins to go. And I think we're going to get Green Bay next week. Charles says, I credit play calling and O-line. When he did try and throw, defense was in his face. Yeah, the O-line has some issues. I was actually shocked at Lindstrom, but I'm like, man, this is what happens when these guys are not playing preseason games. I don't care what nobody says. You look at what went on in Cincinnati today. Bro, they benched Burrow. So this isn't nothing to jump off the cliff for, but I'm like, y'all better get this thing straight. They just backed up the Brinks truck for Burrow. And them boys lost 24-3. They put up a field goal, bruh, with Burrow. And he's not. There were a couple of teams that looked ugly today. So I'm going to take the dub. But I would say there were more positives than negatives in this game. Again, Bijan is going to be an absolute, he's going to be a monster, bro. That touchdown that few players can do that. And he did this on multiple occasions. Guys were just missing him. And then you insert Tyler Algier, who's this battering ram, who can cut, who's got speed to him. Hey, man, listen. I'm happy. I'm happy with this team, man. Just some certain things we need to clean up a little bit, and I don't think it's more of a Desmond Ridder thing. I'm thinking it's more Arthur Smith he's not ready to take the training wheels off of him yet. Because you don't run 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6 and trust your quarterback with those weapons. 3rd and 6, you're passing that ball if you trust it. Ahmad, what's going on? He says, my trust in Arthur Smith is shaky right now. I like the run game, but it can only take us so far. If Smith doesn't like Ridder throwing, why is he playing? Anyone can hand the ball off. We'll see what happens next week, man. We'll see what happens next week. I like Ridder. I like Ridder. I'm not really going to slam dance on him today because I don't think this is his fault. I don't think I'm looking at the play calling and I'm like, bro, why are we not throwing the ball in this position? To his credit, Desmond Ridder didn't turn over the ball. He managed the game pretty well. So Francis, what's going on? She says, hey, Marcus, first half play call was not good at all, but second half was on fire. That defense came alive. And then the offense started to get busy. Look, man, when you got guys that can run like that, man, it's going to make it hard for other defenses. It's going to make it hard for defenses. Charles says all we need is confident quarterback play, and I don't see too many teams that will stop us. Sheesh, Ritter was bad, but first game, so I'm not going to overreact. Yeah, I'm just, man, I talked about this last year with Marcus Mariota. When Marcus Mariota was only putting up like 130 or 140 yards a game, I'm like, hell, Ritter can do that. We had the only thing that I'm worried about right now is the quarterback play. And I can't put that on Ritter. He has to throw the ball. Now, if he throws the ball and we find out he's not the guy, like what happened with Marcus Mariota when he was overthrowing everybody, making bad decisions, throwing the ball, then okay, I understand that. But it's almost like we don't even have a good look on what Ritter can actually do aside from turn around and give the ball to a running back. So that's my only issue right now. Running game looks good. O-line kind of looks shaky, but they did enough. Defense couldn't get pressure in the first half, got it in the second half, turned Carolina over 3 times. We scored 17 points off of those 3 turnovers. So there were tons of positives. AJ looked like himself. There was some guys on defense getting busy, man. And I'm sitting here like 10 points. That's all they gave up. They gave up 10 points, bro. And the defense, in our offense hasn't scored 21 points on us in like 7 games. So I'm looking at this team with confidence, man. You'll probably hear, some guys on radio tomorrow talk about the same things I'm talking about right now. Same thing I'm talking about right now. I wouldn't call this an ugly win because we pulled off and then we kept the lead, which is another thing because y'all know we have been notorious over the last couple of years getting a lead and giving it right back. We've been notorious when it comes to that. We got a 14-point lead and held the line. So again, first game, man, no need to jump off the porch. What's going on, Ray? But yeah, man, I'll say this. Arthur Smith is just one of those straight. He's not Dion. You ain't going to hear Arthur Smith in the post game talking about, yeah, y'all didn't believe, baby. I know what we was going to do when we got out there on the field. 80% of this locker room now starting to believe. You ain't going to hear Arthur say nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Arthur's just going to be like, hey, we got the job done. There were a couple things that we need to clean up. He's going to talk like that, which is true. But I'm going to take this dub, though. It seems like everybody in the NFC South won anyway. Let me see. I think the Saints won. And I think... Hold on for a second. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, yeah, Saints won, Bucks won. So Carolina's down there in the basement where they belong, respectfully. But anyway, moving forward on to Green Bay, man. We run the ball like we ran it today. Defense plays like it played today, and you give Desmond Ridder some more shots down the field. Again, you cannot have Drake London with no catches. 0 yards. You can't have that. You can't have Kyle Pitts with 40 some odd yards, 2 receptions. Like, the reason why you can't have this is where you drafted these guys. If Kyle Pitts was playing for the Bears, Kyle Pitts would be, his stat line might be that of Kelsey's. You put Drake London on any other team, he's catching more than 0. So that's my only issue right now. You gotta find that balance. You find that balance where you can run the ball and you're throwing the ball. This team is gonna be hard to beat, period. And that's, I don't give a damn who you put in front of us. We're going to be hard to beat, period. I look at teams like the let me see. I look at teams like the 49ers, who look good today. 30-7. You know, that's 6 points more than us. And mind you, we beat them last year with less talent. Now, you can argue San Francisco didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Okay, granted. They didn't have Brock Purdy. Okay, granted. They had Ayuk. They had Debo. You know, so this is what, and they have balance. San Francisco has balance. They can throw the ball and they can run the ball. We got to get that passing game. We have to have that. That's what we're missing right now. The running game, I'm not worried about at all. Bijan probably going to go over 1,000. Tyler Algier probably going to go over 1,000. It wouldn't shock me if that happened. But I need to see more of Pitts. I need to see more of Mack. I need to see more of Jonnu. I need to see more of Drake. And who knows? You know, Cordell Patterson comes back. I don't know what the game plan was today. I honestly don't. But hopefully moving forward, we can get these receivers in the mix. That happens. Atlanta winning 12 games. I think we win in 12 games, period. But that's almost a for sure thing. If you get that aspect of the offense going, we're winning 12 games. So with that being said and done, fam, I am done. I am up out of here. Atlanta, stand up. Celebrate the victory. Georgia won yesterday. Alabama lost. So, and before I go, it's the first time in a while this wasn't a heart attack game. You know the game I'm talking about. I'm down to the fourth quarter. We're playing the team. We're like, how in the hell are we even in this position? How are we even in this situation? And then it comes down to like the last 3 minutes. This game was fairly out of hand in the fourth quarter. So hopefully we get more of those to come. Let's celebrate this dub. We're back above 500 since 2017, and we need to stay that way. With that being said and done, fam, you have yourselves an awesome, awesome Sunday, and we will be back here to reconvene after the Green Bay game. And I'm out. Peace.